This is FilmBookCast.
FilmBookCast.
FilmBookCast, the official podcast of FilmBook. Get ready for the latest in film news, TV show news, and theatrical reviews. FilmBook's podcast starts now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to FilmBookCast, the official podcast of FilmBook. My name is Chris Banks. If you are tuning in to FilmBookCast for the first time, first of all, welcome, and what I do on this podcast is discuss the latest film and TV show news. I also review an in-theater film and sometimes on streaming services. You can find more about FilmBookCast on film-book.com by using the search term FilmBookCast. You can also email us at podcast@film-book.com with FilmBookCast in the subject line. Time for some TV show news. Eric Parker's Bubba Wallace NASCAR documentary TV series is currently in production at Netflix. Netflix has ordered a documentary series about NASCAR Cup Series driver Darrell Bubba Wallace. The series is currently in production and will follow Wallace behind the scenes at the 2021 NASCAR season as he competes for the newly formed 223XI racing team, which was created by Wallace, Michael Jordan, and Danny Hamlin. Wallace is currently the only black driver at the top level of the sport. The show will explore Wallace 23XI racing and NASCAR's efforts to advocate for inclusion and equality in racing and beyond. Eric Parker will be directing the series, who's known for LA Burning, the riots 25 years later. Boardwalk Pictures will produce the series. Wallace made national headlines last June when he called on NASCAR to ban the Confederate flag from the races in the wake of George Floyd's death, which the racing league did, in fact, do shortly thereafter. Wallace has undergone extremely unfair treatment since then, with NASCAR now requiring all personnel to undergo sensitivity and unconscious bias training. Exciting news from Netflix this week. In more TV show news, Emilia Fox is set for detective drama Signora Vlope from AMC Network's Acorn TV. British actor Emilia Fox, known for Silent Witness, is set to star in the disillusioned UK spy who becomes a sleuth in Italy in Signora Vlope, a detective drama commissioned by AMC Network's Acorn TV that will start shooting in Italy in May. The show will comprise 3 90-minute installments and will be produced by ITV Studios' Route 24. The show is created and written by Rachel Cumberman and Sally Griffiths, who are also set to be executive producers. Emilia Fox will play the lead named Sylvia, who after 16 years as an M16 operative winds up in a village in Umbria to visit her sister Isabel, played by Tara Fitzgerald, and there becomes involved in a murder investigation. As she starts her new life in Italy, Sylvia finds that trouble follows her wherever she goes. Motivated by her passion for justice, instinct for adventure, and, as others point out, sheer nosiness and determination to prove herself right, Sylvia soon gets embroiled in further compelling crimes and mysteries, according to the promotional materials. Though it seems like an earthly paradise, Umbria proves to be a place where lust, greed, and hatred flourish as in the seamiest city backstreets. The show will premiere on Acorn TV in 2022. Let's head on over to some TV trailers now. There's a lot going on in the 6th season trailer of Legends of Tomorrow. It debuts on the CW May 2nd, and they just released the trailer this week. There's a lot going on in the trailer. The plot synopsis for Legends of Tomorrow is when heroes alone are not enough, the world needs legends. Having seen the future, one he will desperately try to prevent from happening, time-traveling rogue Rip Hunter is tasked with assembling a disparate group of both heroes and villains to confront an unstoppable threat, one in which not only the planet is at stake, but all of time itself. Can this ragtag team defeat an immortal threat unlike anything they've ever known? Check out the Legends of Tomorrow Season 6 trailer. It debuts on the CW May 2nd. In more TV trailers from Showtime comes the 9th season trailer of Dexter. From the press release, this was an opportunity to write a second finale for the show. We're not going to betray the audience and say, whoops, that was all a dream. What happened in the first 8 years happened in the first 8 years, 10 years, or however many years have passed by this time it will air. The show will reflect this time passage. Insofar as the ending of the show, it will have no resemblance to the original finale. It's a great opportunity to write a second finale for our show, and Showtime was very gracious about that. Watch the Dexter Season 9 trailer. It will debut in the fall. Let's jump into some movie trailers. This week in movie trailers comes from Neon, a very exciting film called New Order. It'll be in theaters May 21st. It was conceived 6 years ago from writer-director Michael Franco and his near-future dystopia feels ripped from headlines that haven't yet been written. While protests rage in the streets, Marianne's high society family prepares for her wedding. At first, only splatters of green paint and the appearance of Rolando, a former employee seeking emergency medical funds, intrude in the festivities. But soon, the party is unable to keep the reckoning at bay, and what follows is a swift disintegration of law and order defined first by class lines, then by disastrous government recapitulation. Watch the New Order trailer. It'll be in theaters May 21st. In more movie trailers, we were all waiting for this one, right? From 20th Century Fox comes Steven Spielberg's West Side Story. Directed by Academy Award winner Steven Spielberg from the screenplay of Pulitzer Prize and Tony Award winner Tony Kushner, West Side Story tells the classic tale of fierce rivalries and young love in 1957 New York City. This reimagining of the beloved musical stars Ansel Elgort, Rachel Zegler, Ariana DeBose, David Alvarez, Michael Feist, Josh Andre Rivera, Anna Isabel, Corey Stoll, Brian D'Arcy James, and Rita Moreno. Watch the West Side Story trailer. It'll come out in theaters December 10th, and we've been waiting a while for this one. Very exciting. Let's head on over to some movie news. This week in movie news, Netflix released a preview of its summer slate Tuesday, including finalized release dates, footage photos, and other announcements from a range of films. Among the highlights, details from the animated revisionist history America the Motion Picture from the Archer team, and first look photos from the Kevin Hart-starred Fatherhood and the Melissa McCarthy produced documentary Bob Ross, Happy Accidents, Betrayal and Greed. A film called Sweet Girl starring Jason Momoa will be released in August 20th. The Woman in the Window will be released May 14th. Fatherhood, starring Kevin Hart, will be released June 18th. America the Motion Picture, June 30th. The Kissing Booth 3 on August 11th. In the Melissa McCarthy-produced Bob Ross, Happy Accidents, Betrayal and Greed, it brings us the shockingly untold story about the prolific landscape artist and host of The Joy of Painting, Bob Ross, and his legacy. With a keen appreciation for nature and a kind and gentle demeanor, Bob encouraged everyone he met to embrace the creativity and believe in themselves, becoming a cultural phenomenon along the way. The man who famously said that there were no mistakes, rather just happy accidents, has brought sheer delight to the world for decades. While his soothing voice and unmistakable image continue to evoke nostalgia, there remains a sinister tale surrounding his name and the empire that was built on it being hijacked by once trusted partners, whose slow betrayal of him continued beyond his death in 1995. An exciting documentary. In April, Things Heard and Seen, The Mitchells and the Machines. In May, Monster, Oxygen, The Woman in the Window, Army of the Dead, Baggio, The Divine Ponytail, Ghost Lab, and Blue Miracle. In June, Carnival, Awake, Wish Dragon, Skater Girl, Fatherhood, Good on Paper, The Ice Road, America the Motion Picture, The House of Flowers the Movie, and then in July, Resort to Love, The Last Mercenary, Blood Red Sky, Troll Hunters, Rise of the Titans, and The Last Letter from Your Lover. And in August, The Kissing Booth 3, Sweet Girl, He's All That, and Beckett. A super dense slate of releases coming out for Netflix. In more movie news, well, that was weird, wasn't it? The Oscars on Sunday was a unique production. I kind of appreciated the production value of it. I appreciated that they kind of mixed everything up. I know that there's legitimate criticisms of the show and the winners and the format, but I thought they did a pretty good job. Let's cover the full list of winners from the Academy Awards this year. For live-action short, Two Distant Strangers won. I have not seen it, but I'm going to put it on my list. Best documentary short, Colette. Best animated short, If Anything Happens, I Love You. Best international feature, Another Round. It was made in Denmark. And I guess Leonardo DiCaprio is going to star in the American remake of Another Round. Best documentary feature, and this, if you haven't seen My Octopus Teacher, it is phenomenal. That won Best Documentary Feature. Best song was Fight For You from Judas and the Black Messiah. The best score went to Trent Reznor in Soul. Best visual effects went to Tenet. Best sound went to Sound of Metal. Best makeup and hairstyling went to Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Best editing went to Sound of Metal. Best cinematography went to Mank. Best costume design went to Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. Best production design went to Mank. Best animated feature went to Soul. The best adapted screenplay was The Father by Christopher Hampton and Florian Zeller. The best original screenplay was Promising Young Woman by Emerald Fennell. And learning about the context in which Emerald wrote that screenplay. She was pregnant. She was working right after acting. I mean, it's phenomenal what she accomplished in Promising Young Woman. Best Supporting Actress, Young Jung-woon from Minari, an amazing woman. Best Supporting Actor, Daniel Kaluuya from Judas and the Black Messiah. Best Actress, Frances McDormand in Nomadland. Best Actor, Anthony Hopkins in The Father. Best Director went to my girl Chloe Zhao for Nomadland. And Best Picture went to Nomadland. Overall, I don't have many criticisms of the winners. I know other people do, but I don't. Nomadland was a timestamp for this country. That's why it won Best Picture. And really congratulations to Chloe, because she is just an inspiring and wholeheartedly warm individual that she's just a phenomenal force in film right now. And congratulations to Anthony Hopkins, because The Father is one of the most unique and compelling movies I've seen in a long time. I'm not sure how you chose between Daniel or Lakeith, but congratulations to Daniel, because an absolutely truly phenomenal, powerful performance. Congratulations to all the winners. Rounding out this week in movie news, we're going to check out the box office results through April 25th. Mortal Kombat premiered in the #1 spot in the United States with close to $23 million, which is a great haul for right out of a pandemic. I was very happy with what Godzilla Kong did, and this is giving me even more hope. Demon Slayer came in at 2nd place, and Godzilla vs. Kong is still around in the 3rd place. Nobody is still around as well. Mortal Kombat is a 2021 American martial arts fantasy film directed by Simon McQuoid, from a screenplay by Greg Russo and Dave Callahan, and a story by Russo and Oro Uziel. It is based on the video game franchise of the same name. Great hopeful news coming from the American box office this week. Let's get on over to this week's movie review. Thank you for listening to this episode of FilmBookCast. You can find more of my work on film-book.com. Just search for Chris Banks or FilmBookCast. You can also find me on Twitter. I'm at CBanksy. That's S-E-E Banksy. And I'm on Instagram. I'm at the Chris Banks. If you listen to this podcast on iTunes or another podcast service, please rate and review this episode. If you're listening to this podcast on our YouTube channel, FilmBook Podcast, please like our video, subscribe to our channel, or leave us a comment in the comments section. It helps other people discover our podcast. Please also consider becoming one of our patrons on Patreon at patreon.com/filmbook. Your support helps us create more engaging content. You'll find our Patreon link below in the description. If you want to tweet about this podcast, just use the hashtag FilmBookCast. Tune in next week for the next episode of the FilmBookCast. Thanks for listening, everyone. We'll see you then.